There's been much made of the bravery of Bollard men, the two Frenchmen who helped try and corner this attacker at Bondi Westfield. There is a young man as well in hospital who has visa issues too. He was a security guard and was badly injured during the attack. He said to the government, well, can you sort out my visa issues too? Do you think that should be afforded to this young man as well?
I think that the community would expect that the bravery that the two French fellows demonstrated, as well as this man, would be rewarded by considering their visa issues.
OK, well, we'll wait to hear from Chris Minns a little later on this morning. Can I ask you as well about what we saw, which was quite extraordinary this week, quite a Barney in the Senate estimates at the supermarket inquiry. Nick McKim was threatening Brad Banducci with jail time. Did he have grounds to do that?
Well, certainly holding the Senate in contempt is an offence and can be punishable by jail time. It would be highly unusual. It hasn't happened for many, many decades. That said, I do think that some of Senator McKim's threats were somewhat performative. Really going to the heart of the issue that we're facing here is high prices in supermarkets. And the question before the Senate is whether the bill that is being presented by the Greens will actually have an effect on prices in the supermarket, or whether this is simply an ideological crusade. We know that there are decisions that the government has made already that have pushed up prices in supermarkets, whether it be through restrictive industrial relations laws, whether it be through not controlling energy prices, or whether it be through those additional taxes, like a tax on truckies and a tax on farmers that, of course, get directly passed on in the form of higher groceries. There are ways to bring down prices of groceries at the checkout for ordinary Australians. We want to see the government step up and do its part in this, because supermarkets do not operate in silos. Of course, we want to see competition improved. Will this bill that the Greens have put forward improve that? That remains to be seen. So we'll wait to see what the report of this committee finds. But quite frankly, I don't necessarily think that the circus that goes with it is helpful.
We're going to see the budget in less than a month's time now. There's going to be increased defence spending. Richard Marles has actually said that by the end of this decade, Australia might need to spend $100 billion a year. Is that about right?
Well, we've always said that we would, as a coalition, ensure that defence spending was up above 2% of GDP. And I think you heard Senator Patterson confirm that earlier, that the coalition would ensure that the appropriate amount was spent on defence to improve our capabilities in a shorter time frame. That is certainly the coalition's commitment. What the government have planned remains to be seen, and we'll see that in the budget in the coming weeks. What we would, however, expect in this budget is some level of fiscal restraint, because without fiscal restraint, we will see a continuing of inflation. Inflation will stay higher for longer, and that, of course, means that interest rates stay higher for longer, and people will be poorer because of it. That's why it's so important that the government lives up to its commitments on reining in spending, particularly around those burgeoning areas like NDIS and aged care.
Jane Hume, good to talk to you. We'll check in soon.
You too.